Jeff's Superscript is brought to you by Black Cat Comics and Collectibles, in my opinion, the best comic shop and clubhouse on the internet. Follow them at Black Cat Burbank on Instagram and join their claim sales on Tuesdays for new books and Fridays for back issues. And don't forget to ask about joining their Stray Cats Club for special perks.
Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos. Today we're going to take a look at all the new comic books hitting Final Order Cutoff this upcoming week, Sunday and Monday, March 20th and 29th, 2021. I'm going to start off by asking you if you wouldn't mind going ahead and hitting that like button right now. They make me happy, they make YouTube happy, they tell people that people like me and you should check me out. So I would appreciate it if you would go ahead and hit that like button. Thank you so much if you just did. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the books that we are going to be taking a look at this week. The first one we're going to talk about is The Old Guard, Tales Through Time from Image Comics. Now, I'm not going to read the description because it's a bit long, but what I will tell you is that it is an anthology. It is a limited series of 6, and it basically is telling stories about these, functionally immortal soldiers, and some of their tales through time. I saw the Netflix movie. I really liked the Netflix movie, so I am interested in this title. I am interested in these characters. I have not read the comic book at all, but I imagine that if you're a fan of the comic book or a fan of the movie and you want to learn more about the characters from them, this is the place to go. They've put together some really great writers and some really great artists, and it could be a really cool way to get backstory and information on these characters, something you might want to check out. The next book I want to mention to you is COJACARU the Skinner. This is from Dark Horse. Here's the description. COJACARU the Skinner, the strange and enigmatic bane of Eastern European witches, has been dead for many years. But from a bloodied French town in the throes of World War II, a plea for help carries across the winds of time. A desperate band of resistance soldiers and their white witch allies rest their fate in the hands of COJACARU's ghost, and when she answers their call, it will be heard near and far. Celebrated horror writers Mike Mignola and Christopher Golden return to tell the story of COJACARU the Skinner, once a small girl named Krina who befriended a witch-hunting golem. Rejoined by artist Peter Bergting and colorist Michelle Madsen, the tale they spin will be one of horror, desperation, and ultimately, hope. The premise sounds pretty interesting. Sounds like it could be pretty cool. The thing that's most interesting is the name Mike Mignola. He is just like basically a rock star in comic books, and he has tons of fans, rightfully so. So if you are a fan of Mike Mignola's, you might want to check this out. It looks like it could be pretty cool and a pretty interesting story, and it's only a 2-part, so it's kind of it's a cheap buy-in. It's not going to be a huge commitment for you. So it might be a cool way not only to read a cool story, but who knows, if something like this gets optioned and you only have to pick up 2 books in order to have the full thing, it could be a home run. So if the story at all sounds interesting to you, or if Mike Mignola at all sounds interesting to you, I would suggest picking this one up. The next one I want to mention to you is Godzilla, Monsters and Protectors, number 1. This is from IDW. I'm not going to read the description, but basically, there's some scientist who is wreaking havoc on the planet, and Godzilla's like, not my planet, you jerks, and starts attacking the problem, humans, as we are. And then there's these 3 intrepid middle school students with magic help from Infant Island, whatever that is, to show Godzilla that not all humans are bad. This seems like a children's tale of morality and ecology, and it could be good, I guess. I'm not a big Godzilla fan, especially when it's kind of like in a kid's book kind of fashion. So I'm not so excited about this, but if you're a big Godzilla or kaiju fan, maybe this will be up your alley. Or if you have a kid who likes monsters, this might be a good book for them, actually, because, it's probably not too scary or anything if they're kind of like, softball monsters. The next book I want to mention to you is The Mighty Valkyries from Marvel Comics. This is a 5-part limited series. It says Jane Foster gets a fresh start and allies, both new and old. Jane Foster believed she was the only Valkyrie left, but the fight against Null, the King in Black, proved her wrong. Now the Valkyries must redefine their roles in a changing world, and Asgard's not going to make it easy. When Loki comes to Jane with rumors of a beast stalking the souls of Midgard, she leaps into action, but she's not the only one after the strange wolf's hide. She'll need backup, but her ancient co-worker has other priorities. Years ago, the warrior made a promise to a woman she loved, and now it's time to follow through. Get the real story behind the Marvel Universe's newest star, and don't miss the start of an all-new epic adventure from powerhouses Jason Aaron, Torunn Grønbekk, and Mattia de Lulis. Okay, so, I mean, this has a few things going for it. Obviously, we know that Jane Foster's going to play a big role in the next Thor film. And so it kind of makes sense that Marvel is kind of prepping the comic book community and trying to take advantage of the spotlight that's going to be shown on Jane Foster a bit. And this is just yet another example of that. Jane Foster as a Valkyrie is actually a pretty cool character, and I think the Valkyries are pretty cool as well. So this has a lot of things going for it in its own right. Also, you throw Jason Aaron into the mix, you know, and now once again it's time to sit up and pay attention. So if you're interested in the world of Asgard and, you know, Thor's universe, so to speak, or Jane Foster or Jason Aaron, all of these are reasons to pre-order this book, this upcoming FOC. The next book I want to mention to you is Way of X #1. This is one that's especially interesting to me. Here's the description. It says, the way of the future of X. The way to the future of X. Mutant kind has built a new Eden, but there are serpents in this garden. Some mutants struggle to fit in. Some mutants turn to violence and death, and the children whisper of the patchwork man, singing in their hearts. Only one mutant sees the looming shadows. Snared by questions of death, law, and love, only Nightcrawler can fight for the soul of Krakoa. Only he and the curious crew he assembles can help mutants defeat their inner darkness and find a new way to live. The Way of X. The writer and the artist push the frontiers of Krakoa in this unmissable entry into the bold new reign of X. So, a lot of the X-Men titles, I'm a big X-Men fan, and a lot of the X-Men titles have just not been wanting me to give them any attention. You know, I mean, they want me to, but I just don't want to give them any attention. I don't know why. They're just not really capturing my imagination. This one has potential. It looks like it could be interesting. It's one that I'm definitely going to check out from the beginning and at least pick up issue #1. Nightcrawler is also a really cool, I think, underappreciated character. He has really kind of like complex internal struggles going on, and like he has a really like definitive morality. He's just a cool character, and I'm interested to see what he's like when they put him front and center a little bit more. So I'm definitely going to choose also like one of the X-Men, you know, from the X-Men team that I just love so much. So I'm going to give him a chance basically no matter what, because he's part of my X-Men as far as I'm concerned. So I'm definitely going to check out this book. I'm excited to see how it goes, and we'll see. Hopefully it's great. I want it to be great. I want to find a great X-Men book, and I'm hoping this one is it. So if you're an X-Men fan, this is definitely a book for you. The next one I want to mention to you is Women of Marvel #1. Here's the description. Who runs the world? You already know. Celebrate the women of Marvel with an extravaganza of extraordinary talent. The future is female. Get in on the ground floor with this amazing assembly of writers and artists from all over entertainment. Comics legend Louise Simonson kicks things off with a must-read introduction. Nadia Shamas punches the glass ceiling with the Jade Giantess. Elsa Sjunnesson grits her way to the front line with Captain Peggy Carter. Sophie Campbell goes feral with a bone-grinding marrow story. Video game and comics writer Anne Toole makes her Marvel debut in A Blaze of Glory. Natasha Alterici of Heathen fame charges sword first into the Marvel Universe, with astonishing art from new and established artists Kei Zama, Eleonora Carlini, Skylar Partridge, Johanna Estep, and more. You're sure to come away powered up and ready to slay in high heels and boots alike. Okay, so I like female superheroes. I think female superheroes are awesome. I love women who can kick ass. It's just me. And maybe you too, but definitely it's me. But here's something that I find interesting. As I'm reading this description, I don't know any of these names. I mean, I know Louise Simonson. But as I was reading all these other names, I'm like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is, and I don't know who they're referring to here. And that's part of the problem, I imagine, is that these female writers and artists, you know, at least the ones that are listing here, on my scope, on my radar, they're not getting their due, or they're not getting the attention that they may deserve. So I'm glad that it's Women's History Month, and so this is the perfect opportunity to put out a book that focuses on women, done, written and drawn by women. So I think this is really cool. Hopefully this will bring some visibility to these writers and artists, and using some just characters that are already amazing. So this might be a great way to celebrate Women's History Month. The next book I want to mention to you is Batman Black and White number 5. This is number 5 of 6, by the way. Let me read the description to you, because all the information you're going to need is in the description. It says, the penultimate issue of the acclaimed return to Batman Black and White is here, with a look at some of Gotham City's most twisted and compelling souls. Superstar Batman artist Jorge Jimenez, he's so good, writes and illustrates a story starring Bruce and Damian Wayne as they try to prepare for a sting operation as Batman and Robin, and Damian questioning Bruce's methods every step of the way. Multiple Eisner Award-winning writer of Detective Comics Mariko Tamaki and fan favorite artist Emanuela Lapacino show what's become of Gilda Dent, former bride of Two-Face and current scourge of supervillains. Jamal Campbell, acclaimed co-creator of Naomi and Green Lantern Joe Mullion from Far Sector, tells a story that spans the full history of Nightwing. Kieran Gillen and Jamie McKelvey, the celebrated team behind Phonogram, Young Avengers, and The Wicked Plus the Divine, make their DC debut with a story that pits Batman against the Riddler in a way you've never seen before. And finally, legendary comics artist Lee Weeks writes and draws a story that has the ghosts of Jim Gordon's past coming back to haunt him. So there's a lot of things in this description that stood out to me, that sounded interesting to me. I like to see what Jorge Jimenez is going to be offering us, what Mariko Tamaki is going to be bringing us. I'm a big fan of Jamal Campbell as well. I really like his art style a lot. So this Batman Black and White, I've mentioned this before in all of my other videos. Batman Black and White, to me, is about the writers and the artists that are going to be in each issue. For me, I'm not necessarily interested in having every one. I'm interested in having the ones that have artists and writers that generally interest me. And this is one. So I'm absolutely going to have this on my FOC. In fact, we're all done talking about the books today. These are all the books that we're going to be talking about for FOC today. I'm going to tell you right now, as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to go into my poll list, which I do through League of Comic Geeks. I'm going to be adding Batman, Black and White, and I'm going to be adding The Way of X. So I'm excited about those two books, and this is part of the reason why I do these FOC videos, is because I like going in and seeing what's coming up with at the upcoming final order cutoff so that I can make sure that I have my book ordered, pre-ordered at my local comic shop, and that I don't have to worry about hunting for it and don't have to worry about it potentially selling out on New Comic Book Day. It will be pre-ordered, be waiting for me in my pull box come the day when it comes out. And if you are watching this video, you're probably watching this video for the same reason. You want to know about these FOC books so that you can make sure that you do the same. Thank you so much for watching this information. I hope that it was valuable to you. I hope there was a book maybe or two in there, like there was for me, that piqued your interest and that you're going to make sure to let your comic shop know that you're interested in getting. Once again, if you're appreciative of the time I spend and the information that I'm providing, and you haven't already done so, please hit that like button. I would very much appreciate that. Finally, if you haven't done so already, please, I invite you to hit the subscribe guy, and of course, make sure you hit the notification bell so you're informed of new videos when I post them. There's a good one coming up very soon. Thank you all once again for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.